Holy shit. Can you see how huge that is? The computer's got 30 gigabytes of information on it, right? Your screen has got 0.1 gigabyte of information on it. The screen is your consciousness. Every cell in your body is your hard drive. And every cell in the body, because it's an electromagnetic interface, okay, it is transmitting and receiving. And mainly through your 7 electromagnetic transmission and receiving centers called your chakras. Duh. And so when you develop your sensitivity that the energy that you're receiving can actually come through the hard drive and come up onto the screen. You have the information on that field of energy on your consciousness, right? In other words, it's like typing in your computer, bringing up part of the file and putting it on the screen. You're aware of it. There's a huge amount more that you're not able to perceive. What all as I've done and what we teach people when we take them in the process of enlightenment, and that's what Jesus said, it's enlightenment, increasing the vibratory rate, okay? And you can only do that with a clean body, and that's why we talk so much about nutrition. If you want your enlightenment, if you want your anti-aging process, you have to increase the vibratory rate of these cells. You can't function in an enlightened state with a dirty zip. You have to have a zap, and that cell has got to be 100% clean to take that frequency. If you put a string at Seattle and run that string all across to New York City, what, 35,000 miles, and you went out to Kansas and you put your finger on the center of that string, and your finger would cover ½ an inch, right? Now, if you imagine that 3,500 mile piece of string was all the frequencies that we are actually communicating with, but the bit your finger touched was the bit you were conscious of. That's about the ratio of what is happening here in comparison to what we are aware of happening. Now just think, if you increased your vibratory rate to make so you could be aware of ½ an inch each side of that ½ an inch, that would be a 300% increase in consciousness. We are already, that's 3,500 miles of communication. It's just that we're totally unaware of it. Man, just imagine if you could go a metre out each side, a foot out each side. We've still got 3,500 miles less a yard to go. Just imagine what you'd be aware of. You're talking a 10,000% increase in consciousness, and you're still only using up a metre of that spectrum. Einstein said we only use 10% of our brain cells because we haven't got enough current, enough electromagnetic impulse to even fire the cells. We've got a whole group of cells in our body that science calls sleeper cells that are not even electrically active. Einstein said, that's normal. Go look at your medical textbooks. A pituitary gland is less than 1% of their cells that are actually electrically firing any neurons in our pituitary. We call it the third eye in the New Age terminology, right? Just imagine if we fired up every cell in the pituitary.